Welcome back. July is National Savings Month. This is new to me, but with the cost of living continuing to rise, this could be a hard thing to do, Faith.
Absolutely. Well, the fuel price goes up every month. The food basket cost has increased drastically. And to top it all off, municipal fees have just gone up this month. So to speak to us more about exactly how do we save in these challenging economic times, we've got Kabelo Teme from the Credit Ombudsman. Kabelo, thank you so much for your time this morning. A very good morning to you. Look, July is Savings Month. I think more than anything else, South Africans would also like to know, how do we start saving in the current economic climate with the realities that we're facing on a daily basis?
Good morning, Faith and Morena, and good morning to your viewers as well. Well, you are quite right. You know, sometimes when you look at our current economic situation, you actually quite panic as a consumer because you're thinking, when am I even going to start thinking about saving? Because right now I'm just thinking that I need to live on a day-to-day basis. But the thing is, I think that we tend to overwhelm ourselves when it comes to saving. We think that for me to start saving, I need to earn at a certain tax bracket, and that's only the time that I can actually save. But what we, as the Credit Ombud as well as Microfinance South Africa, are saying is that you don't have to start with a big number. I mean, ideally, they say that most researchers say that you ought to be saving 20% of your income each and every single month. And realistically speaking, right at this moment, that is a bit too steep for some of us consumers. So what our message is basically saying, do not overwhelm yourself when it comes to saving. I mean, you look at your variable expenses on a monthly basis, and we keep saying this as well, that when you budget, a budget basically shows you exactly how much income and how much you actually spend on a month-to-month basis. So for you to be able to have a clearer picture of how much you can actually afford to save, you need to have a budget in place and do your budget while you have your bank statement with you, because that is a true reflection of how much you actually spend. And you would find out that actually there are some variable expenses that you can actually cut down on and actually save that money instead.
Kabelo, there's a very popular, saving strategy. Or, a way in which people suggest that you should be saving, which comes up every 1st of January. So it's your New Year's resolution. This is what you could be doing and what you could have come the 31st of December. And that's, you save 10 Rand in the first week, 20 Rand in the second week, 30 Rand in the third week, and then by the time you get to week 52, you're sitting with, my math is bad, so I don't know what amount you'd be sitting with at the end of the year, but there's that particular strategy that people have come to find very popular. Is that even a real thing? Is that something you would advise someone to do?
Look, if at all you have the funds, then do that. There are many methods of which we use to actually save. I mean, I know of the most popular and I think the oldest method that we as Black people use, which is stokvels. And I can tell you this now, when you know that each and every single month you have this big, you have this responsibility that I need to pay 1,000 Rand towards my stokvel, and that works for you, go for that method. But if at all you find that, you know what, that the method that you just mentioned actually works better for you, then rather do that. What we are saying is that just find a method, and a method that works, a method that will help you as well to stick to your plan and also to remain disciplined.
Yeah. A lot of times our financial institutions or financial advisors, Kabelo, would say that we need to change our perception of money as people. And it starts off with the way our relationship with money needs to change so that the way that we approach saving changes as well. In fact, many are suggesting that saving needs to even change. The term even saving, we need to say we're paying ourselves. Because by us saying we are paying ourselves means that you are actually taking money from yourself to give to yourself just for another time. How important is it to start these conversations, and how early on in life should we start these conversations about our relationship with money?
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it, because I was saying that when I was in primary school, I used to work at a tuck shop. And because at that time, my relationship with money was just buying donuts. That's the only thing I could think of. I was never taught from a young age that actually, my dear child, the moment you get this money, you can actually save it and later on do something bigger that will be beneficial to you. Saving is indeed something for yourself. And I think that each time we think of saving, we're thinking, oh my goodness, it's another punishment, basically, that you guys want me to actually partake in. It's not a punishment. It's giving yourself, it actually lessens the burden if you think about it. Because if I've got a savings portion or I've got a savings account, should anything happen, should any emergency happen, then you know that at least I have got my savings that I can fall back on. Then not having savings at all, and guess what? Having to opt for credit. And sometimes credit facilities, yes, they are there to assist us. And credit, I'm not saying that credit is a bad thing, but sometimes if you have not planned for it, then it can actually lead to a downward spiral. Instead of just having a savings plan, and I mean, I'm not even saying just save for things that are necessary, like paying off your debt or going to school fees, a vacation. You know, being able to take a vacation is so important because we want that lifestyle. We actually want to be able to say that I am resting, I'm enjoying my money. So if you save up towards your vacation or you save up towards that shopping spree that you want, all we are saying is that have a plan, have a goal, have a plan, and implement. And so that way you have control over your finances instead of having to say that, oh no, but I didn't know. And now I am actually in this big debt simply because I did not start saving. We need to have that different relationship with money. We need to tell our money where to go and not wonder where it went.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
So there's this saying that I've said a lot, but it's usually in banter. It's, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So now, if you're telling me that I must save for rainy days, if you're saying I must save for a vacation, that's the good time part. Now, if you're saying I must save for a rainy day, you're telling me to save because I'm here for a long time. I'm not here for a long time. How then are you going to change my mindset of I need to save for a rainy day? Because you may not be here for a long, or you may think you're not here for a long time, but there will come those days where you're going to need to tap into, you know, some of your reserves to make sure that you do not stress yourself too much.
I mean, Morena, I like making the example that I know that recently, you know, this whole thing, every little change I get and I enjoyment. Well, you will be enjoying for now. But if you look back 5 years, right, and be realistic about this, if you look back 5 years and you had started saving, let me say a minimum of 100 Rand each and every single month, how much will you have by now? So sometimes we say, yes, I'm here for a good time and I'm not, tomorrow I might be gone. But 5 years from now, chances are you might actually still be around. How about we start thinking, shifting our mindset to that instead? I mean, if you were to think that 5 years back, I would have started saving for this, for even a car or anything like that, you could easily be able to purchase your car on cash. But we don't think like that. We are instant. We would just want to. We've got this thing, that microwave life, that I want instant gratification, and that is why we end up in such big financial problems, because we are always thinking YOLO. You only live once. Yes, you are correct. You only live once. And in that life, you don't want to be sitting and living with stress, and especially financial stress. When you are under a lot of pressure financially, that could lead to depression. And that is the last thing we are trying to avoid. And if at all you have means to actually save even 100 Rand per month, look and calculate how much money you will have in 5 years' time. And then you will talk about saying that, okay, I'm here for a good time. Trust me, it is for your own benefit as a consumer.
Yeah, Kabelo, before we let you go, how do we start having the conversations with children? So when I grew up, and I don't know if you grew up as well, Morena, we were taught to, you know, have at least 10 Rand that you save and put it in. I mean, for me, bless my father's heart, it was a cigarette box, right? So you put money inside of a cigarette box so that you can save, and by the time it's the end of the month, you have got money to stretch. My parents used to steal my money. That's another conversation for another day. But nonetheless, so they used to teach us to actually save money in the cigarette box. But it taught me how to save from the age of 9, 8. How do we start teaching children how to do the same? So when they become adults like ourselves, this saving thing becomes very natural.
I actually love having this conversation, especially because with young people, they still have the opportunity. Where we went wrong, they can make right. And as parents, I think that you start you start in a very soft way. You speak to your child, you know the kind of things that your child actually likes. And you say, you know, my baby, if mommy gives you this 10 Rand, you can actually take 10%, which is 1 Rand, and put it away and save it, so that at the end of the year, you can do whatever you want with that money. I mean, obviously, for a child, you have to make it fun. You have to say that you say the things that they actually enjoy, that remember those sneakers that you want. Instead of mommy buying them for you, you will be able to buy them for yourself, and you will feel that it actually feels good. Yes, I understand that it's better to spend mommy's money, because I know I wish I still spend my mother's money. But if at all you actually teach your children in that manner, and you say, you know what, save just 10 rand save this 1 rand from the 10 rand that I'm giving you, and you will see that you will have so much money at the end of the year. I mean, they will also see that, wait a minute, so I can actually make this into a monthly thing. And even eventually, when they grow up with this habit, they will grow into adults that know how to save. And it will become that thing that is a norm for them to actually save money, that they don't spend all of their money all at once, but they actually have a savings portion for themselves, so that they can do the things they actually want to enjoy. Like I said, for us as grown-ups, it's actually saying every single year, I want to take a vacation because I am tired. For them, it could honestly just be, I want to be able to go out with my friends, instead of hearing mom telling me that, no, I cannot help you this time, or I don't have the money, but rather they have their own money to spend, which actually feels good for them.
Most definitely. Kabelo, I'm hoping that somebody listened to you, and that even though they sing the song of you only live once, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, they still remember that you might actually be here for a long time, and it would help if you had something to fall back on should there come those trying times. But thank you so much for just helping us unpack, the idea of saving. That is Kabelo Teme. Of course, she's a credit ombudsman, and just speaking to us about, as we kick off the month of July, the month of National Savings Month. It's a conversation that I think, importantly, as Faith asked the question, a conversation that needs to be had with children. A conversation that maybe even needs to be had in EMS. I don't know if they still call it EMS, but in accounting, but at primary school level. These are the kinds of
Economic Management Sciences.
Yes, that's right. That's the one that needs to be, the conversation that needs to be had in those subjects. I mean, along with everything else that they do teach kids, but it's an important conversation, most definitely.